which is used I guess for sleep, is what the report had said. Brockman stated that he had taken his last dose within the last 24 hours prior to the incident. The Federal Drug Administration outlines uses for alprazolam for anxiety and panic disorders. This is Xanax. Xanax works by slowing down the movement of the chemicals in the brain that may become unbalanced. This results in a reduction in nervous tension, aka anxiety. Xanax is used to treat anxiety disorders, panic disorders, and anxiety caused by depression. The sedative effects of Xanax may last longer in older adults. Accidental falls are common in elderly patients who take benzodiazepines. Use caution to avoid falling or accidental injury while you're taking Xanax. Xanax is classified as a Schedule 4 controlled substance by the U.S. DEA. Linda Talley Smith had recused herself from the case. She's the Commonwealth's attorney who generally would be the one that would investigate a felony accusation. She recused herself from the case for unknown reasons, possibly because she knew the guy. And James M. Crawford was then selected to run the investigation and the grand jury hearing. James M. Crawford has been I don't know if he's the Commonwealth attorney, but he's represented Carroll, Grant, and Owen counties since 1989. They assembled a three-person panel, James M. Crawford at the head. The three-person panel included Captain Bill Wilson of the Campbell County Police Department, Lieutenant Rich Whitford of the Fort Thomas Police Department, and Detective Corporal Jason Reed of the Florence Police Department. And all four of these gentlemen met regularly for 6 months. November 4th, 2014 was the election day for every single Kentucky's county official in all 120 counties, all throughout the state, including county prosecutors and Commonwealth's prosecutors. I don't know if either Linda Talley Smith or James M. Crawford had any opposing anybody that was running against them or not, but they would have been up for re-election November 4th, and so is everybody else, right? A whole bunch of people is up for election. Every single county position. It wasn't just Mitch and Allison. My God, it was, the sheriff, judge executive, the soil and water conservation district supervisor. It was everybody. Every single position in Kentucky in all 120 counties was up for re-election. So the 2 days after the election day was over, after all Kentucky's officials had been selected or, been kicked out of office, the Boone County Grand Jury was then convened by James M. Crawford, which is 6.5 months after Tyler Brockman murdered Samantha Ramsey. And they convened on Thursday, November 6, 2014. A grand jury is supposed to consist of 12 citizens. A grand jury determines whether or not to indict, which means to bring a formal criminal charge against an individual for a felony. Grand jurors do not decide guilt or innocence. The grand jury hears evidence and determines if there is sufficient proof to support an indictment and require the accused to stand trial. The threshold is different for the burden of proof for a grand jury versus a criminal versus a civil trial. The threshold for the evidence that is necessary for a conviction in a criminal trial is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The threshold to get a conviction in a civil trial is guilty with the preponderance of evidence. The threshold to get an indictment out of a grand jury, which is just saying, let's proceed with the charges and go through the regular court system, is just merely probable cause. Just probable cause. Was there a probable cause of a crime that had occurred? Is there a probable cause? There's a dead body. Samantha Ramsey's dead. She was shot by Tyler Brockman. He admits to it. Is there a probable cause that perhaps a crime might have occurred there? Of course there's probable cause. Probable cause is one of the smallest tiny bits of threshold. It's really, the grand jury doesn't even, many times it's like a rubber stamp. You can indict a ham sandwich is a saying that they say. Grand juries are conducted in secret. No one is to be present in the grand jury room during the examination except for the Commonwealth's attorney, a stenographer, the witness, and anyone else required, such as a guardian for a child or disabled witness. So it wasn't Linda Talley Smith, but it was James M. Crawford, and then there was a stenographer, and then there was the witness, Tyler Brockman, and then, it says anybody else, but that wouldn't, so it would just be those three people, and then the 12 jurors. The James M. Crawford, a stenographer, and Tyler Brockman. After all evidence has been presented, the grand jurors will deliberate and decide whether to return an indictment. 9 of the 12 grand jurors must be in agreement to return an indictment. After 7 hours in court, including testimony from multiple witnesses, the Boone County grand jury declined to issue any indictments and issued a no true bill at 5 p.m. that Thursday, November 6, 2014. 2 days after the elections for every elected official in the state of Kentucky, including the prosecutors, and over 6 months after Samantha Ramsey had been shot. The Boone County Sheriff's Department received extensive assistance, according to Linda Talley Smith and the James M. Crawford, from the Kentucky State Police Collision Analysis and Highway Safety Team, the Northern Regional and Central Forensic Laboratories, Grant County Sheriff's Department, and Dr. Bill Smock of the Office of the Police Sergeant for the Louisville Metro Police Department. Wikipedia deleted the shooting of Samantha Ramsey's page because they said that it wasn't newsworthy. Samantha Ramsey graduated from Holmes High School, and she was working at Children's Incorporated, a child care center in Covington. Samantha Ramsey was born on March 29th, 1995. Her 20th birthday would have been next month. This civil suit, Tyler Brockman has a lawyer, Lando, a man named Lando, but I've not heard anything about the family or the estate of Samantha Ramsey, I guess her mother, to file a civil suit, which seems to be the only option, except for voting young masters into office, so that way there's no more police corruption. Police brutality would be taken serious. So, next month, March 29th, 1995, she would have been 20 years old. 20. Tyler Brockman took everything Samantha Ramsey was and ever will be in a matter of moments. So that's the update for the Tyler Brockman murder.
Pedestrians in the field parking just start yelling, "Stop, please stop for him, it's not worth it, just stop." And I hear them say that. And I'm sitting there going, maybe she will stop, maybe. And then I just hear the engine keep getting higher, and it's revving, and I feel cold air, and I feel the cold air on my back, and I feel the cold air on my back, and I just know we're going. And at that point I go, I'm going to die. She is about to kill me.
Now that's when Brockman said he feared for his life and shot Ramsey through the windshield of the car.